Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. And this is the World Championship Wrestling Review. And I believe this might have been October 26th, 1985. Rodney?
They open up with the match with Rock and Roll Express against Ivan Nikita Koloff. We saw that in last week's Starrcade review. Just showed a very brief few seconds of that. And then we go to the opening with Tony and David. And they talk about Dusty's injury. They're going to be talking to the doctor today. They're going to have a Southern Championship match with the Wahoo McDaniels against the Barbarian. And then we're going to have another, and then right at that point, then here comes Arn Anderson. He's talking about he's now the World Television Champion. And they recap what happened last week between Dusty, when Dusty came out there to address the crowd, if you will, address the fans. And that's when Tully and Arn Anderson came out and stole the World Television Championship belt. I loved when Arn Anderson was asking, they were telling him that Tony and David was telling him that he stole the title. And he said, but it's funny, neither one of you are big enough to take it away from me. And I just loved that. I just thought he was great. I just loved that. Match number 1, Magnum TA against Tony Zane. No surprise, belly to belly suplex. Magnum TA wins in that one. Goes to the interview with Magnum TA. He talks about Arn and Ole, talks about Ric Flair. Talks about Dusty Rhodes, and of course, talks about Tully Blanchard. And Tully is, to me, still the reason to tune into the show. He's just super. Interview with the Rock and Roll Express. They talk about the Russians. Ivan Nikita Koloff with Crusher Khrushchev. They re-show the match where they lost the World Tag Team Championship when the chains were involved. Of course, that match was a no time limit, no disqualification match. So really, there was no issue other than Crusher Khrushchev being out there as a third man. New World Tag Team Champions, of course, were Ivan and Nikita Koloff. They're talking about the upcoming match, the cage match, no time limit, no disqualification between the Rock and Roll Express and the Koloffs for Starrcade 85. Interview with Jimmy Valiant and Big Mama. I love this, and I love Big Mama. She was awesome. Talks about Jimmy talks about his marriage and how many women, how many wives he has. And then talks about the Midnight Express, talks about Jim Cornette. And, of course, Big Mama sings her big song and says she's going to slap Cornette. And I'm sure that when she finally slaps Cornette, the place was going to go just absolutely bonkers. Match number 1 has the superstar, Billy Graham, against what we thought was Carl Styles. But I don't think that man was Carl Styles. I know Carl Styles. I don't think that man was Carl Styles. I think he was an imposter, Carl Styles, out there. Anyway, it's the backbreaker, Billy Graham winning in that one. Match number 2, Midnight Express against Carl Styles and Rocket King. And I believe that was the right Carl Styles that time. Cornette was out there and he was doing his commentary. And, of course, David was telling him he would like to give the commentary of the match if he didn't mind. He said, well, you can try, but you're not very good at it. That's what he said. And it's Bobby Eaton coming off the top rope, of course, with the rocket launcher. They don't call it that yet, but that's what they're going to call it down the road. Then they go 2-on-1 with Rocky King. Jimmy Valiant comes in. They double up on Valiant, and then a lady, very large lady, comes out of the audience and one punch knocks out Bobby Eaton. And that's going to be some really good stuff coming up very shortly. Interview with Jimmy Valiant and Big Mama, and they talk about that he wants that big lady that come in the ring and knocked him out. He wants him to contact him. And, of course, Big Mama says, what a punch. I just loved her. She was just right. I don't know. It was just everything she did was just right. It's just perfect. I'm going to have to flip the page here. Interview. They go with the interview with Dusty and his doctor, talking about the boot that's going to be coming up, and it's going to be important in the next few weeks with this oncoming matches. He says that he's going to be back on November the 3rd, and Dusty talks about, of course, like I said, the boot. Match number 3 is Buddy Landell without James J. Dillon against Richard Dunn, spinning elbow into the figure 4. It's Buddy Landell over in that one. And an interview with Bill Apter, talking with Flair and Dusty. This was just really, really good. Dusty was at home. He talked about he goes back to his roots, which I think is very important. Talks about being a son of a plumber. Talks about that Flair's pretending that he's not ever going to come back, and he's telling that he will. He says that Flair, with all of his with his Rolex watches and his fancy suits and the cars and whatever else, can't save you. He says it can't save you, and he said you're going to get what you deserve. And Flair, upset, says you're done and walks off the set. Very nice, very well done. It shows exactly why they're on the top of their game. And that one, interview with Paul Jones, and he's talking about the Southern Heavyweight Championship. The Barbarian apparently pulled a no-show for TV that week. So the Barbarian was not there. Wahoo's out. He said, I came a long way to defend the Southern Heavyweight Championship. So out comes Arn Anderson. He said, I can collect another belt today. Why not? So this did it for the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Wahoo McDaniel against Arn Anderson and the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Ole has the belts. He's got the national title. He's got the World Television Championship. And of course, it goes to gets to the end there, and Wahoo goes for the big chop and the big potential pin, and then Ole in, and it's Ole and Arn doubling up on them, and Magnum TA comes in, cleans house, and Wahoo wins by disqualification and still the Southern Heavyweight Champion. Interview with Jim Crockett next week. Another match signed. It's going to be Billy Graham, the superstar Billy Graham. I always call him Superstar Billy Graham because there's, for me, only one Billy Graham. He's the Reverend Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham against Abdullah the Butcher. And then he's also going to have a $5,000 arm wrestling challenge as a superstar Billy Graham against the Barbarian. Then they have the Starrcade 85 update, The Gathering. And that's when they sign a new match. It's going to be the National Tag Team Champions against the United States Tag Team Champions. It's Ole and Arn Anderson faces Wahoo McDaniels and Billy Jack Haynes. Match number 5, Rock and Roll Express against Randy Barber and Kent Glover. Of course, it's a double backdrop into a double drop kick on Kent Glover. Rock and Roll Express over in that one. Interview, Tully Blanchard with Baby Doll. Yeah. United States title. Of course, he's still the United States Championship. He talks about the upcoming I Quit match with Magnum TA, or just the challenge. He says a letter was sent to him saying that Magnum TA has challenged him for the an I Quit match. He says he's done with Magnum TA. He says no more matches for him. And then he talks about Dusty's mostly just all talk, no action. Dusty, and that's what he says about him. Interview with the National Heavyweight Champion Terry Taylor. And of course, he's talking about he has an opening contract for Starrcade. Match number 6, which I love this match. Ole Anderson against Mike Nichols. In the end, it's Ole coming off the top rope. Fantastic knee off the top rope onto the shoulder of Mike Nichols, then into the armbar. It was a submission. Ole wins in that. Just totally awesome. Match number 7, Sam Houston against the Black Cat. Cat going after that injured arm, injured by the Andersons and Tully Blanchard. In the end, it's the Bulldog on the Cat. It's Sam Houston over. Interview with Magnum TA, talks about Tully Blanchard and that challenge for the I Quit match. And of course, at the time, it's Tully Blanchard in the ring. Match number 8, Tully Blanchard against Italian Stallion. Magnum TA at the desk. Love this solid match. Baby Doll trips the Stallion. Then it goes right into the slingshot. Magnum TA confronts Baby Doll. Then it's Blanchard out. And Blanchard and TA in with the fight. Goes right to close. Just fantastic.
Jack, your thoughts?
Well, I loved the whole, as we will soon come to know her as Miss Atlanta Lively.
Yeah.
I thought that was perfect. I thought it was perfect. And Superstar Billy Graham, why he didn't get more of a push at this time, because he still had some gas left in the tank. There was nobody there that had that look. I understand he probably could not have had great matches with Ric Flair, but there were other titles there that he should have been in contention for or holding at this time. I think they misused. I think they missed the boat with him. This was a good show. It wasn't as great as some of the ones over the last several that we've reviewed, but it was still a good, solid show.
Well, all I know is, Rodney, you're a pretender. You're pretending to be something you're not now. I know that, Rodney. You're pretending. You're a pretender. I know you're a pretender. And when I get the stock, I'm going to tell you something, Ric Flair. Not all the women like him, like the big old nose like you got, Rick.
Well, what got me was he was talking about the watches and all the stuff, but he was wearing them a few weeks back.
It's right. Well, somewhere he got the message, and it could have been Jimmy Crockett said, "Lady Dusty, you're the common man. You're not the Rolex wearing." But he goes back to it later. Ole and Mike Nichols, I absolutely love that match. Ole was just so solid. I mean, He wrestled that guy. I mean, it was no doubt that he just wrestled that guy. What was the other thing I was going to talk about?
I'm going to tell you, Ricky Morton did a tremendous interview in this.
Yes, I missed that.
He didn't cry about it. He didn't say, listen, I'm not out here to cry about it. I'm out here to tell you that when we meet each other again, we're going to come out there and we're going to win the World Tag Team titles. I thought it was so good. I thought Ricky Morton did just a tremendous interview in this. And that match, just the last moments of that match, man, it showed why the Rock and Roll Express was tremendous. And I'm with Jack. I'm getting more respect every week I watch Robert Gibson. I get more respect for him every time. What a tremendous wrestler. I'm going to tell you the one thing, though. Rodney liked it. He said he liked it, but I was not a big fan of Big Mama.
You didn't like Big Mama?
No. I was not a big fan.
Exactly right.
I understand how she could have got over. I understand that, but I didn't like her because I thought her stuff didn't seem real. It seemed.
I think
it was silicone.
What?
It was silicone. It wasn't real.
That's right. I just thought with the way Jimmy Valiant acts, I thought she fit in just perfect with him. I did. I thought he just fixed it. And I thought the match with Tully Blanchard and Italian Stallion was solid. That was a solid match.
I love, though, when Jim Cornette said, Mama don't want that floozy touching me and them upper, whatever he said, them floating devices she had. She ain't going to touch me. I thought that was a great touch. But I did not like that. I never really, even back then, I didn't. And it's not that she didn't get over. I just didn't like the way she did. You could tell that Jimmy Valiant said, say this, say that. And you could tell she was really thinking about it.
It was so cheesy. It was good. That's what I thought. It was so cheesy. It was good. Especially the song. The song was
Did Ron Garvin just not do this Miss Atlanta Lively thing so well?
Oh, it was perfect.
The way he walked in, the way he did his hand and walked, oh, man. It was Ron Garvin was spectacular anyway. So, and it was great seeing Wahoo.
Yeah,
I mean, he beat poor old Arn Anderson to death in this match.
Yep, good.
Poor old Arn, he was getting it, and it was great to see Ole and Wahoo again. It'd been so many years since you've seen them, and Ole Anderson. There's no doubt. People can say whatever they want to about Ole Anderson. We've said he wasn't the nicest person, and he made a couple of mistakes, but there's no doubt. Ole Anderson, you beat anybody in that dressing room.
Yep.
And just tremendous stuff. And we missing anything?
No, I think we got it covered pretty good.
Rodney, anything you want to say before we leave?
Well, that open contract for Terry Taylor, he put it out there. As you can see, the people just lined up for that one.
I frowned that up when I saw him. But he did look good in the suit, though.
Yeah, until
he looked great until he opened his mouth.
That's right. Me and Jack had the same idea. Yeah.
Folks, in all your letters directly to Jack Lording, thank you so much for being a part of Pro Wrestling Inside. Thank you so much for watching the videos. And if you've enjoyed this video, give us the big thumbs up. And go one step further, hit that notification bell. I think I missed one thing. I think you're supposed to give the big thumbs up, then go over there and hit the notification bell. And sometimes Jack hits that bell. You got the bell?
There. I thought I scared you the last time we did it. So
I think I did. I had a little accident. I'll be fine. Change my drugs, and I'll be fine. All right, we'll see you on the next video right here on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out.